and Gracie Allen Show. Presented by Carnation, the milk from contented cows. Carnation evaporated milk and new Carnation instant non-fat dry milk. Before we join George and Gracie, let's visit a modern hospital maternity ward. Here is a brand new baby getting his very first bottle. And what is in baby's bottle? Why, Carnation evaporated milk, of course. More Carnation is used in hospital formula rooms throughout the world than all other brands combined. Because Carnation evaporated milk is safer, more nourishing, and more digestible than any other form of milk for baby's bottle. Yet Carnation costs far less than formulas you buy prepared. 8 out of 10 mothers who feed their babies a Carnation formula say,
"My doctor recommended Carnation."
All through the critical growing years, modern mothers keep their babies on Carnation to develop strong, straight bones and sound, perfect teeth. Today's informed mother says,
"I'm keeping my child on Carnation to ensure perfect health."
Carnation evaporated milk is truly the milk every doctor knows.
Glad we came to Houston. Didn't we have a wonderful time sightseeing this morning?
Oh, yes. You know, I've never seen nicer dress shops or hat shops or shoe shops.
The key, Mrs. Burns?
Oh, all right. Now, why would he want the key to my house in Beverly Hills?
No, I mean your room.
Oh, I haven't got that. You have it.
Yes, I know, Mrs. Burns. You are Mrs. Burns, 622.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, with all those little boxes, I'm surprised that you don't make a mistake sometime and give people the wrong keys.
Oh, it's part of our training here at the Shamrock Hilton. We're taught to remember faces. But then I take no credit for remembering Mrs. Burns. It's quite easy in the case of such a well-known figure.
If you don't mind, would you just remember my face? You see, if my husband found out you were remembering my well-known figure, he might not like it.
Yes.
Oh, good morning, lady.
Oh, good morning,
Mr.
Mr.
Paris.
Mr. Paris, the Rotary Club called and,
I can't find Fifi.
Well, you mean your little French poodle is lost?
Yes, and if I don't find her before my wife gets back from San Antonio, I'd better get lost, too.
No, Gracie. This afternoon we're going to do some real sightseeing. We're going to go out to the oil fields and watch the men drill.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
It is.
Oh, I love parades.
Right?
Oh, yeah, and if their marching and drilling is good enough, I'm sure George can get them on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah, if anybody can, George can.
Thanks for hobby. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Well, Bonnie, so how am I doing?
In a few days, you'll be able to run your own elevator.
Going up? Oh, Mother, Mrs. Morton, let me help you with your packages.
You know, Ronnie, you haven't been out of that elevator in a week.
Well, some people go around together, but Bonnie, Sue, and I just go
Up and down together?
See, Ronnie, if you've got nothing to do this afternoon, why don't you join us? Blanche told me the men are marching in the oil fields today. And then if you miss them on the Ed Sullivan Show, why, you've already seen them.
Ronnie, what I told your mother was...
Oh, no, you don't have to explain it. He understood me. Right, Ronnie?
Sure, the oil men are drilling today.
See?
I'm always saying silly things.
Bonnie Sue, what did you and Ronnie do last night?
Well, we had dinner and then we danced for a while. And then I drove Ronnie down to see Herman Park.
Oh, wasting a beautiful night like that. Why didn't you two go somewhere and park yourselves instead of watching Herman?
Mrs. Burns, that's the name of a park here in Houston.
Oh. Oh, you see, Blanche, you've got me saying silly things now.
Mrs. Burns, could I talk to you alone for a minute?
Well, of course. Blanche, will you take the key?
Oh, sure.
Yes?
Well, my ambition is to be a dramatic actress. I haven't even told this to Ronnie, but I thought maybe you could help me.
Well, I'll be glad to tell it to Ronnie.
No, I mean help me get started.
Oh, started as an actress. Well, George is the one for that. The minute you see him, do an audition for him.
All right. When? Where?
Well, any place. The lobby, the roof, in a restaurant. George recognizes talent wherever he sees it.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Smith.
I know you'll be a big star.
Oh, thank you again.
Oh, incidentally, can you act?
Well, I was in the Dramatic Society at college, and we played in towns all over the state.
You did?
I played in Pygmalion and Dodsworth, Othello, and Winterset.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're all right, but after my husband helps you, you'll appear in bigger towns than that.
Oh, Mother, I put your packages away, and I'm going back the elevator.
Oh, well, suit yourself. But if I traveled as many miles as you traveled in that elevator, I'd like to get somewhere.
I'll do my best.
I'll write you a long letter tonight, Harry. Yeah, oh, it was wonderful to hear from you. Goodbye, dear. That's the third long-distance call this week.
Oh. You hear a funny noise?
Sounds like somebody scratching at the door.
Oh, I don't see anyone.
Gracie, it's a little dog. Oh, honey, let me get it. Wait a minute.
Oh,
isn't
it cute? It's just a little puppy.
Oh, I wonder where it came from.
Oh, now, really, Blanche, it's your age. Well, look, there are he dogs that are known as males, and there are she dogs that are known as...
Honey, it just came to me. I think I remember.
Oh. Oh, I remember. You know, that's the poor little dog that I petted this morning out in front of the hotel. Oh, must have followed me up in the room. Get her something to eat.
But, Gracie, you can't keep her. The hotel doesn't allow dogs. If they find her, out she goes.
But they won't find her, so in she stays.
How are you going to keep them from finding her?
Oh, Blanche, any woman who can walk into a store and buy a $50 dress for only $35 is certainly smart enough to hide a dog.
But you didn't do that. I did.
Well, of course, so where are you going to hide it, Blanche?
No. Now, Gracie, do you count me out?
Oh, Blanche, how can you be so cruel? Look at her. She's so tiny and so helpless. How could you turn her out into the world where she might be abused and mistreated, where she'd have no home and no food and no friends and no one to love her?
I'll help you hide her, Gracie.
Oh, good. Now stop that silly crying. You're getting the dog all wet.
Take this mail up the room. What is that? My wife will never believe this.
Howdy, folks. George Burns, or anybody wants to see me, you tell him I'll be hanging around this here Shamrock Hilton Corral for quite a spell. I'll put my brand on that there chair right there.
Now she will.
Have you seen Mr. Monzel?
Well, he went that-a-way.
What happened to Harry? Maybe the hotel sent him somebody else's laundry. Kid beat you to the draw, huh?
Oh, I dropped my magazine.
Yeah.
You, care for the makings, partner?
No, I'm from the East.
Oh, yeah. You notice anything different about me?
Haven't shaved today, have you, Harry?
Oh, cut it out, George. Look, the reason I'm dressed this way is I want the other people to think I'm a Texan, see? I want them to think I'm an outsider.
How can they? I'm not a Texan until you called me George. You fooled me.
Well, now, fancy that.
Your nose burns good like a cigarette should.
I don't know, but I'm out of practice.
Bang, bang! Why don't you drop dead?
Kid has a point.
Oh, good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, hello, Mr. Paris. What do you think of the clothes?
Oh, that's a very smart suit you're wearing, Mr. Burns.
Thank you. Bang, bang, you're dead again.
Mr. Ferris,
The doorman tells me that you lost little French poodle.
Yes, I can't imagine what happened to little Fifi. If I don't find her, I won't be able to face my wife.
They all look alike. Buy her another one.
Say, that's a good idea. I'll do that right away. Thank you, Mr. Burns.
You're welcome. I'm surprised that the Parises would have such a little dog for a pet. I didn't think that anybody in Texas would dare to have a pet smaller than a rhinoceros. A rhinoceros isn't such a silly pet. I know a fellow who went to Florida and came back with a baby alligator. And he was absolutely mad about it. And he always had a big red ribbon around its neck. And, well, after a year or so, the alligator grew too big for his apartment and he had to get rid of it. But he's still sentimental about it. And people who don't know the story wonder why he's always carrying the suitcase with a red ribbon around it. But if you want a pet that loves children, the ideal thing is an octopus. It can put its arms around 8 kids at the same time. You know, Gracie loves animals. Once I gave her a dog, and she asked me what kind it was. I told her it was a toy poodle, and she pretty near went out of her mind looking for a place to wind it. I finally explained that it was a live dog and that it had a long pedigree, and she says, what if it has? We can always take it to a vet and have it clipped. But she does know some things about animals. Do you know why cats see so well in the dark? Well, I didn't either until Gracie explained it to me. They have to learn to see well in the dark because very few cats are tall enough to turn on the lights. Some people don't like cats. They think that they're cruel because they kill birds. Now, I know a fellow who was very angry because 2 weeks ago a cat came in and killed his canary while he was out shooting ducks. When I was a kid on the Lower East Side, I brought home a dog, and the dog lived with us for about 6 months. Finally, my mother said, look, it's tough enough to feed 12 children without feeding a dog, too, so I had to get rid of this dog and lose him. I took him for a subway ride to the Bronx and left him in the woods, and he came home half an hour before I did. And the next day, I took him further into the woods, and he was home an hour before I was. Well, then I was desperate. And I took him way into the woods, and I turned, and I twisted, and turned. I pretty near got lost myself. Came home about 8 o'clock that night, and there was no dog. And I said, you see, Mother, it worked. She says it didn't. He was here already and went back to look for you.
Hello, Gracie. This is Mary Jenkins. Oh, everything's just fine in Beverly Hills. How's Texas? Oh, Gracie, you're right. It's simply wonderful. I just had to call you and tell you how beautifully Carnation Instant whips. Oh, I wish you could see it. Whipped Carnation makes a chiffon fruit salad that's just divine. Those contented cows are wonderful.
Discover Carnation, the only Magic Crystals instant. See for yourself how quickly Carnation whips. Just follow the easy directions on the box. Carnation Magic Crystals whip so beautifully with a delicate, light texture. And whipped Carnation is the secret to chiffon fruit salad and ever so many dishes. Just fold in the whipped Carnation and look at that wonderful lightness. It's lighter in calories, too. Get the recipe at your favorite grocer's or just write to Gracie Allen, Television City, Hollywood.
Well, you see for yourself how easily Carnation whips. Magic Crystals do it every time.
Use Carnation Instant Non-Fat Dry Milk for drinking, for cereals, for cooking.
Don't worry, little doggy. Your food is on its way. Oh, I know you are. And that's why I ordered a T-bone steak for you.
Steak?
Well, I couldn't order Friskies. All they know it was for a dog.
Oh, you really think we can keep her hidden till we get to Beverly Hills?
Oh, yes. And I'll have her meet stars like Rin Tin Tin and... Oh, it's a shame that Lassie is a girl.
Room service.
Oh, you better hide. Just a minute. In there. Over there. It's nice and soft in there. You see, there's no starch in George's shirts. Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ladies. I hope the T-bone steak is to your liking.
Oh, yes, it looks very nice. Now, just cut off the meat, please.
Did you say something?
Yes, I said, please, just cut off the meat.
I beg your pardon.
No, that wasn't me. That was Mrs. Morton.
Were you speaking to me, madam?
No, I wasn't speaking, really. I was, practicing something.
Yeah, that's right. She was rehearsing.
Oh, I see. You're an actress.
Well, I'm not exactly an actress.
Oh, Blanche, why deny you're an actress? You're wonderful. You know, she's too modest. Imagine playing the part of Lassie on television and they're saying she isn't an actress.
She plays the part of Lassie?
Yes. It's wonderful what they can do with makeup.
Lassie?
Of course, and what a wonderful job she does. I'll bet you thought she was a real dog, didn't you?
Yes. I mean, no. Please excuse me. Shall I serve the vegetables now, Mrs. Burns?
No. I told them I didn't want any vegetables. No bread and no butter.
Just the steak?
Just the bone. Take the steak back with you.
You mean...
It's in my contract.
When you two finally come down, will you bring the elevator with you? Dad, we were just talking about 6 Beverly Hills and...
Up, down, up, down. Is this the life for princes of royal blood? I who once had palaces, who ruled everything my eyes could survey. What have I come to now? When I think of it, I could laugh. More often, it makes me want to cry. Oh. But someday, I'll have back my lands and my castles. You, Alexis, you will do this for me. Your sword and your strong right arm will restore me to my rightful place. Promise me that. Promise me. Say it!
Sure.
Then kneel, and I will make you a count. Kneel for your princess.
Kneel.
I pronounce you Count Alexis Nikolai Ivanovich.
It's a floating crap game, and the password is Anastasia. Oh, Charlie?
Oh, Mr. Burns.
Yes?
Say, it's none of my business, but I just served a very expensive lunch to your wife.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine ordering a big T-bone steak, sending the meat back, and keeping the bone. But I guess Lassie deserves the very best.
Lassie?
Yeah. Your wife's friend. She's in there.
All she got was the bone?
Oh, yeah. It's in her contract.
Gracie?
I can't hear you, George. I'm in the shower. Hello, dear.
Hello. Thought you were taking a shower.
Well, I was, but I noticed I had my clothes on,
Well,
so
you
I
didn't take
decided
it.
not to.
What's this bone doing on this plate?
Well, that's an easy question for a woman who can save $15 on a dress. Blanche?
Well, it certainly is. Gracie ordered it for her teeth. Calcium, you know?
Well, it's true. You see, my teeth have calcium. I have to get rid of it.
Wouldn't throw it away. You can get $5 a pound. Somebody cough, or was that me?
Well, you.
Me. I thought so. Well, then I better go down and see my veterinarian and get rid of this bark. Gracie, before I go, there's just one thing. Is there a dog in one of my drawers?
No, in one of your shirts. Oh.
Mistake. This is a nice little situation. They got the manager's dog stashed away. I think I'll tell the manager. But not right now, because if I do, I'll have to start next week's show in the elevator.
Is this the life for princes of royal blood?
I'll walk.
I who once had palaces, who ruled everything.
Don't worry, Bonnie Sue. I'll find the right spot for you to audition for Dad.
Now we ought to take her out for a walk, huh?
We can't. How can we get her through the lobby without being seen?
Oh. Well, maybe I could put my hand in her mouth and pretend she was a muff. Oh, you're right. If the other end of the muff started wagging its tail, somebody might get suspicious. Well, we've got to do something. We've got to take the dog out for a walk.
Well, howdy, ladies.
And here's the way. And his hat? It's big enough for a St. Bernard.
What are you putting in my new hat?
Only this.
What, a dog in my hat?
Oh, look, Harry, all you have to do is put the dog in your hat, put the hat on your head, and walk through the lobby.
Oh, no, why, the poor little thing would smother in there.
Harry's right.
Gracie, wait a minute.
Harry, look. They don't allow dogs in the hotel. And we've got to get her through the lobby so she can take a walk.
Now the little dog won't smother.
Look, Gracie, that hat costs a fortune.
See, Harry? Come on, Harry. You go down the elevator and out the lobby, and nobody will know you have a dog in your hat. Nobody.
Best-looking head he's had on his shoulder since I've known him.
Well, Mr. Clifford, I got this at the pet shop.
Why, it looks just like Fifi. Your wife will never know the difference.
There it is.
So that's the man who's stealing dogs around here.
Oh, Blanche, look, our little dog. Oh, she must have lost Harry Von Zell.
Oh, and she's panting. She ran up all those stairs. Let's get her some water, huh?
Put her in the drawer where George's shirts are nice and soft there.
Oh, Gracie, the saucer, dear.
Oh, yes. Blanche, look! Our puppy had a puppy.
But which one had which? Oh.
One dog I expected. But what are two doing here?
George, you'll never believe it. It must be the Texas air. Our little dog went out for a walk and came back with a puppy as big as she is.
After seeing Bonzell's hat, I believe anything.
You gonna take it?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Hello? Oh, Harry.
Mr. Burns, this man has been stealing dogs. Oh, now,
Very noisy, but not too funny. And I like a quiet finish. Mr. Soundman, when I go back in the room, will you cut off the sound?
Gracie will be right back and do one of their vaudeville routines.
George and Gracie will be back with you in just a moment. Gracie's collecting Carnation recipes. On every can of Carnation evaporated milk, there is a wonderful recipe that assures success. Yes, Carnation guarantees better cooking results every time because it's double rich with special blending qualities not found in any other form of milk. For casseroles, cheese sauce, pie fillings, and hundreds of other dishes that call for milk or cream, use Carnation evaporated milk. It's economical, and because of its double richness and special blending qualities, Carnation performs cooking miracles not possible with any other form of milk. Carnation evaporated milk from Contented Cow. Here is a special message for dog owners. Friskies is the balanced diet dog food, especially prepared to the high standards of Carnation Company. Unlike most canned dog foods, the main ingredient in Friskies is real meat, lean, red, government-inspected horse meat. To keep your dog frisky, feed him Friskies. Appearing on tonight's show were Judy Boutin as Bonnie Sue, S. John Lawner as Mr. Clifford, the desk clerk, Louis Martin as Mr. Paris, the hotel manager, Donald Towers as the little boy, and Lomax Studi as Charles, the waiter. This is Harry Von Zell saying good night for Carnation.